Starting calisthenics, fatigue management. Fatigue is a disruption to body systems that occurs with all stimulative training. If we compare training to cooking, stimulus is the food and fatigue is the mess. Just like it's impossible to cook anything without making a mess, it's impossible to stimulate muscle growth without accumulating any fatigue. So instead of avoiding it, we need to learn how to manage it. And how can we do that? Of course, we can clean up the mess, but the process starts by not creating a huge mess in the first place. To do that, you need to consume enough calories, get enough sleep and relaxation, use good technique, start training with a low relative effort and volume, and take enough days off during the week. Adhering to each of these points will help you accumulate as little fatigue as possible. But here's the catch. No matter how perfectly you adhere to them, fatigue will inevitably get out of hand. This is because when training is hard and frequent enough to promote the best gains, fatigue per session is so high that it doesn't fall back down to zero before the next session. It accumulates. You can think of it like this. Each workout adds a splash of water to the total fatigue pool, and once the pool is overflowing, you need to take some water out before you can continue splashing more water in. Okay, but how can I know when the fatigue pool is overflowing? By tracking your performance and seeing when it plateaus for 2 workouts in a row. 1 day off might be a fluke, but 2 in a row is a clear sign of excessive fatigue. If you start with a reasonable volume relative effort and slowly increase them, this should take you roughly 6 to 12 weeks. This marks the point when you've reached your maximum recoverable volume, and since there's no more productive training to be done ahead, you need to decrease your fatigue before continuing to train. And how can you do that? Simple, by taking time off from hard training. Your body naturally decreases your fatigue, so all you have to do is stop adding extra fatigue. This part of the mesocycle is called a deload, which usually is a week long, and during it you can either train very little or not train at all. By training very little, you'll essentially just maintain your gains during this time, but by not training at all, you might lose some gains. Which option you choose is up to you. Okay, but how little should I train? It's difficult to say precisely, but the easiest method is to simply cut your sets and reps in half and do 2 total sessions. If you did 14 sets of 10 push-ups in the last week of your mesocycle, do 7 sets of 5 push-ups during the deload. If you finish a deload workout thinking, this was too easy, you're doing it right. If you found this video helpful, make sure to check out the previous videos in this mini-series, and see you next time for a video on training program creation. Peace!